Most gamers think Switch games are all cute platformers, but some of the darkest, most emotional stories in gaming actually live right here. I'm Alice, and honestly, a few of these still live in my head rent-free. Get comfortable, because this countdown hits different. Let's jump straight in. Number 1 on this list is Tears of the Kingdom, and while it's known for building machines, the story about Zelda's sacrifice honestly hit way harder than I expected. Ganondorf's backstory adds real weight to a villain that used to feel flat. Quick thing though, if you're into story-driven games like these, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and drop your favorite one down in the comments. It genuinely helps this channel grow. The way the past and present intertwine through memories gives Hyrule an actual emotional history instead of just background lore, and that's rare for an open world this massive. Game 2 is NieR Automata. And honestly, this might be the most philosophically heavy story on the whole list. Multiple playthroughs reveal completely different perspectives, slowly turning a simple android tale into something devastating about existence itself. The pacing feels strange at first, repeating sections from new angles, but it pays off in ways few games ever attempt. I still think about certain scenes way more than I probably should. If you want a story that lingers, this one truly delivers. Third up is Fire Emblem Three Houses, where the tactical battles almost feel secondary to the relationships you build along the way. Choosing a house early completely changes how the war unfolds, and losing characters in battle actually stings emotionally. The time skip halfway through hits hard once you see how everyone's changed. I got attached to these students more than I expected, honestly. If school drama mixed with war politics sounds interesting, this delivers both convincingly. Fourth is Xenoblade Chronicles 3, a JRPG about 2 warring nations and soldiers who never expected to live past their teenage years. The story tackles mortality directly, which feels heavier than typical anime tropes usually allow. Ouroboros transformations look great, but it's the character writing that actually carries this one emotionally. Ending sequences genuinely got me a little choked up, honestly. If sprawling JRPG stories with real stakes appeal to you, this is a must-play entry. Fifth on the list is Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade, expanding a short section of the original into a story-rich journey through Midgar. Character moments get way more room to breathe here, especially Cloud and Tifa's relationship, which feels genuinely deeper now. The ending twist divides fans, but honestly, I found it fascinating rather than frustrating. Yeffy's DLC episode adds welcome extra depth too. If you love JRPGs with cinematic presentation, this story delivers real emotional weight. Sixth up is Persona 5 Royal, following students living double lives as thieves who steal corrupted hearts from adults. The social simulation between missions makes every character feel genuinely real, not just a combat unit. Themes about justice, rebellion, and growing up hit surprisingly hard for something with such stylish presentation. I got way more invested in these friendships than I expected going in. If you want story and style combined, this is basically the gold standard. Seventh is Hades, where dying constantly actually becomes the entire narrative engine driving the story forward. Every failed escape reveals new dialogue, deepens family drama, and slowly reshapes how the underworld feels around you. It's rare for a roguelike to care this much about character writing instead of just difficulty. I kept dying just to see what new conversation would happen next, honestly. If you want story woven directly into gameplay loops, this nails it. Eighth on this list is Hollow Knight, telling its story through environmental details and cryptic dialogue rather than cutscenes. Piecing together Hallownest's tragic history feels like solving a mystery, rewarding curious players who explore every corner. The atmosphere alone tells half the story, without a single word needed. I still find more connections I missed on my first playthrough. If subtle, atmospheric storytelling appeals to you, this Metroidvania rewards patience and careful attention. Ninth is Disco Elysium: The Final Cut, a detective story told almost entirely through dense, brilliant writing, instead of action. Your own thoughts argue with you constantly, creating one of the most unique narrative structures in gaming. The mystery unfolds slowly, but the dialogue alone makes every conversation worth reading carefully. Honestly, this might have the best writing on this entire list. If you love reading heavy narrative games, this is genuinely unmatched. 10th up is What Remains of Edith Finch, a short walking narrative about one family's strange, tragic history. Each family member's death is told through a completely different gameplay style, keeping every chapter feeling fresh and surprising. It's over quickly, but the emotional gut punch lingers way longer than the runtime suggests. I finished this in one sitting and just sat there afterward. If you want a short, powerful story, this delivers exactly that. 11th is Divinity Original Sin 2, an RPG where your choices genuinely reshape how companions react and the story unfolds. Each origin character carries their own personal story woven into the larger conflict, giving real reason to replay. Combat is deep too, but honestly, the writing and reactivity are what stand out most. I spent way more time just talking to NPCs than expected. If choice-driven RPGs matter to you, this remains a genuine standout. 12th on the list is The Witcher 3 Complete Edition, following Geralt hunting his adopted daughter through a war-torn continent. Side quests here often carry more emotional weight than main story missions in other games entirely. Choices ripple forward in ways that genuinely surprised me hours later. Running this scale of world on Switch is honestly impressive on its own. If you want a mature, layered fantasy story, this belongs near the very top. 13th is Baldur's Gate 3, an RPG with reportedly thousands of narrative variations depending on your choices throughout. Companions feel like real people with their own arcs, secrets, and reactions to everything you do together. It's a massive time investment, but honestly, the writing quality justifies every single hour spent. I restarted just to see other companion storylines unfold differently. If deep branching narratives excite you, this is genuinely one of the best ever made. 14th up is Kentucky Route Zero, a surreal point-and-click journey down a mysterious highway that shouldn't exist. The writing leans dreamlike and melancholy, blending magical realism with genuine themes about debt and small-town decay. It's slow-paced, but the atmosphere and dialogue make every stop worth lingering on. Honestly, this one stuck with me longer than I expected going in. If you want something artistic and strange, this delivers something truly unique. 15th is Life is Strange True Colors, where your character can literally sense and absorb other people's emotions directly. Uncovering a small town's secrets through empathy powers makes every conversation feel meaningfully different than typical dialogue choices. The mystery surrounding her brother's death drives things forward with real emotional stakes throughout. I definitely got a little emotional during a few key scenes. If narrative adventures with heart appeal to you, this delivers genuinely well. 16th on the list is Ori and the Will of the Wisps, a wordless story told through gorgeous animation and music alone. Ori's journey to save a young owl carries genuine emotional weight without needing a single line of dialogue. Platforming here is tight, but it's the visual storytelling that actually sticks with you afterward. I got surprisingly choked up during certain quiet moments. If you want a beautiful, emotional platformer, this rarely disappoints anyone who plays it. 17th up is It Takes Two, telling a story about a couple rebuilding their marriage through wildly inventive co-op gameplay. Every chapter introduces new mechanics tied directly to relationship themes, which keeps the narrative surprisingly grounded despite the chaos. The bickering fairy narrator adds comic relief that somehow never gets old. My partner and I actually related to a few arguments, honestly. If you want story wrapped in genuine two-player chaos, start right here. 18th is Resident Evil 4, blending horror atmosphere with Leon's rescue mission story that somehow stays tense throughout. The remake adds extra character depth without losing that classic over-the-top charm the original was known for. Village encounters and boss fights carry real narrative weight beyond just survival horror scares. I jumped more than once despite knowing what was coming. If horror with genuine story stakes interest you, this delivers exactly that. 19th on this list is Cyberpunk 2077, following V's desperate search for a way to survive a dying implant inside their head. Side stories here often rival the main plot, especially anything involving Johnny Silverhand's complicated presence throughout. Night City itself feels like a character, dense with lore hidden in every corner. Running this on Switch is honestly more impressive than I expected. If cyberpunk stories with real stakes interest you, this delivers plenty. 20th up is Hitman World of Assassination, weaving a globe-trotting story about Agent 47 unraveling a shadowy conspiracy. Each mission plays like its own self-contained story, letting you approach targets however fits your style that session. The overarching plot ties everything together nicely by the time the trilogy wraps up. I've replayed missions just to catch story details I missed. If sandbox storytelling through gameplay interests you, this delivers something genuinely different. 21st is Dragon Quest XI's Echoes of an Elusive Age, a classic hero's journey told with real heart and charm. The story hits familiar JRPG beats, but executes them so well that it never feels stale or predictable. Character growth feels earned, and the world genuinely reacts to your journey's progress throughout. I found myself smiling through most of this, honestly. If comforting, well-told JRPG stories appeal to you, this is a genuine treat. 22nd on the list is Octopath Traveler II, following 8 separate characters whose personal stories eventually intertwine meaningfully. Each traveler's chapter feels like its own short story, giving genuine variety and tone across a single adventure. The HD 2D visuals make every scene look like a painting brought to life. I kept switching characters just to see how their arcs would resolve. If you want variety in storytelling style, this delivers plenty of it. 23rd up is Chained Echoes, an indie JRPG about a fractured continent trying to find peace after decades of war. The story surprises with genuine political complexity rarely seen in smaller budget RPGs like this one. Characters feel fully realized, each carrying believable motivations tied to the larger conflict unfolding. I went in expecting less and came out genuinely impressed, honestly. If underrated JRPG storytelling interests you, this deserves way more attention than it gets. 24th is A Plague Tale Requiem, following siblings surviving plague, war, and a curse threatening everyone around them. The bond between Amisha and Hugo carries genuine emotional weight, as the story pushes both characters toward darker choices. Visuals are stunning, but it's the sibling relationship that actually drives everything forward narratively. I got surprisingly invested in these two by the ending. If emotional survival stories interest you, this delivers something genuinely memorable. 25th and last is Dragon Quest VII Reimagined, a classic JRPG about restoring lost worlds one island at a time. Each restored island carries its own self-contained story, slowly building toward a much larger overarching mystery. The old-school turn-based battles pair surprisingly well with genuinely touching character writing throughout. Honestly, this closed the list on a nostalgic, satisfying note for me. If classic JRPG storytelling appeals to you, this closes things out perfectly.